So much to unpack from yesterday. Let's actually listen to how each of them came off during their separate hearings.
With what degree of certainty do you believe Brett Kavanaugh assaulted you?
100%.
This whole 2-week effort has been a calculated and orchestrated political hit, fueled with apparent pent-up anger about President Trump and the 2016 election.
So what do you think about the impression that both of them have given and what their credibility is at this point?
Absolutely. I think Dr. Ford came off extremely credible and even objective. I thought that Judge Kavanaugh came off defensive and not objective at all, and quite frankly, not exactly like we'd want our future Supreme Court justice to come off.
But it is tough. I mean, he's being accused of something that he says he hasn't done. So you can understand the emotion.
Absolutely. I totally understand his emotion. I understand that when you're accused of something that you believe you didn't do, you may get defensive. But we're not talking about a layperson here. We're talking about the future justice, potentially, of the highest court of the land. And don't forget, this is essentially his job interview.
Okay. So Blasey Ford, they asked for an FBI investigation. Kavanaugh, of course, did not ask for an investigation. Do you think that one would help this case?
Oh, for sure. And what people forget here is an FBI investigation would have given the Senate Judiciary Committee members that were questioning them a better basis to use for the questions. So you'd have more informed questions, and so that's why it would help. It's true an FBI investigation would not have come to a conclusion about his guilt or innocence, but it would absolutely help. The more information in this instance, I would say the better.
So that's the thing. We may find out more details. It doesn't draw a conclusion for us. That's not the FBI's job.
Right.
But we may find out more details is what you're saying.
That's exactly right.
Okay. The allegations, they were obviously being politicized. You heard Republicans who are being accused of rushing to approve Kavanaugh so they can get their pick on the Supreme Court. As we know, it's an appointment that a position that they hold for lifetime. Democrats are accused of stalling the judiciary vote. That was kind of an underlying theme of the entire hearing.
That's true. And, you know, the reality is it is political, right? I mean, this is a Trump nominee, and let's not act like that does not shadow over everything that's happening here. But more importantly, the Supreme Court needs to be regarded as kind of this independent judicial body, right? We want to trust the Supreme Court to some degree. And we know there's some politics underlying that, but this was absolutely political. And when you look at, you know, Dr. Ford didn't make it too political in her opening statement, but just comparing the opening statements, Kavanaugh came in hitting pretty heavy. I mean, he talked about the Clintons. He talked about how Democratic senators have all but attacked him and his family personally and professionally.
Yeah.
So, oh yes, this got political fast.
Okay, we got to get to this. The Senate is expected to move forward with a vote today. So today's still a very big news day. Do you think that they're going to get enough votes to approve Kavanaugh?
You know, it's interesting. The Senate Judiciary Committee is going to move forward with the vote. I think that they'll push him through to get a full Senate vote. At the end of the day, though, I am hoping in my heart that they take this into consideration and Kavanaugh does not get confirmed. But I could definitely see it happening.
Okay, so you think it could?
Oh, it could happen.
Okay, now finally, as a prosecutor, I know that you're able to see the courage that it takes for someone to get up on a stage like that and to spill what they say has happened to them, to express that to really the world that's watching. Do you think that this hearing will have an impact on how victims of sexual assault, how seriously they're taken? Because this is the overarching thing that I think many Americans care about.
Absolutely. And, you know, I worked as a corporate defense attorney. In that role, though, I did employment law. So I've seen how victims react. I've done sexual harassment investigations. Overall, though, the way this was handled, I think that there are some victims who will get strength from Dr. Ford's courage. But all in all, I don't think that this will be the hearing that will cause a whole new movement. We already have the Me Too movement, and overall, I think that Dr. Ford could have been treated with a lot more respect during this process.
Okay. All right. Ashley Kirkwood, thank you so much. We certainly appreciate your time.
Thank you.
She's with Mobile General Counsel. Again, thank you for your insight. You can check her out at Ashley Nicole Speaks right there on Twitter.